So you look at those Samsung Galaxy S4 Active commercials and you think, that's my lifestyle. I've got a kid that likes to eat my phone or a dog that loves to mess with my phone. But you know what? I don't like the Galaxy S4 Active. Maybe it's the design, or I don't care for the look and feel of the software. Well, my friends, you got another option as of today. I'm Aaron Baker from PhoneDog.com. The Sony Xperia Z is coming to the States, and it's going to be available very soon on T-Mobile. Let's take a look in the full video review. The Xperia Z was praised when it was announced at Consumer Electronics Show earlier in the year, and now it's coming to the nation's fourth largest wireless carrier. It's the Xperia Z. It's actually in purple, at least our review unit is, and it's available in a couple of different colors, and you see that T-Mobile logo right there on the back of the unit. So sporting not only a logo, but also the carrier's 4G LTE connectivity, as you can see up here in the corner. So rocking that fast 4G LTE speeds, but specs-wise, pretty unchanged from the international version that we took a look at a few months back. It's rocking a 1.5 gigahertz quad-core Crate CPU. It's got that same 5-inch 1080p display, 441 ppi. On the back, you've got your camera with a flash, as you can see right here, and then an internal battery, or non-removable battery, I should say, in this device as well. 2,330 milliamp hours there, 13.1 megapixel camera on the back with 1080p HD video recording, and Android 4.1 with Sony's custom UI over here. Now, out of the box, as you would expect, you do get some T-Mobile applications right here. Will load up so you can take a look. You've got mobile hotspot, you've got T-Mobile TV, T-Mobile My Account, visual voicemail, and then the Sony stuff as well. Walkman, Social Life, Sony Select. You got Play Memories Online. You see that all throughout here as part of Sony's effort to create that ecosystem that's made Apple and Samsung so successful. They've got it. They just need to integrate it together and really make it into an ecosystem. I mean, they've had Walkman for years. They've had Sony, for example, PlayStation for years. Integrating that stuff in is going to be very important for their long-term mobile strategy moving forward. Music Unlimited as well, and then let's start PlayStation, or PSM I should say right there. Movies, backup and restore, civil alerts, and more. So let's take a quick look at this and see how it looks out of the box. Like I said, you've got those applications. Here's some of your Sony ones. Walkman right here. We'll load this up and see no music. I can transfer the songs to the device if I want to, but it's got the typical look and feel from back when we reviewed the international Xperia Z. What you're probably wanting to see, quadrant standard, which we'll take a look at here. And it's important to note this is prior to the Snapdragon 600 rename, so while it is a quad-core CPU running at 1.5 gigahertz, it's not technically a Snapdragon 600 CPU. Quadrant standard, as you would expect, continues to be fast on this device. Loading it up right now, we'll run through these 3D graphics, and for the most part, I've been pretty impressed with the overall battery life on this device. It charges relatively quickly. The design still is beautiful here. It's water resistant, so if you're somebody that wants that Samsung Galaxy S4 Active, or at least the features from the Galaxy S4 Active, but perhaps you don't like the way it looks, or you're not a fan of Samsung, be it the company itself, or their software, their hardware, whatever the case may be, this is another alternative for you. The downside is it's just on T-Mobile in the US, so if you're not on T-Mobile, you're either going to have to switch or make do with something else, like another device. The Active's obviously just on AT&T. So you got some options depending on which carrier you're on, but you know what? I always love that choice to be able to do something on all the carriers. So whether it's get the HTC One or the Galaxy S4, I like to be able to switch my carriers depending on what's right for me and not have to worry about my device. And unfortunately right now, you do only have this on T-Mobile. 7,919 in quadrant standard, so not quite as fast, at least in quadrant standard, as the HTC One, the Galaxy S4, the Galaxy S4 Active, all these newer devices that are rocking the Snapdragon 600 CPU. Still reasonably fast in day-to-day performance, 2 gigabytes of RAM. I've had no issues whatsoever with this unit. I wanted to point out the design really quickly as well. You can see power button over here on the right, volume rocker on the right, and really it's a distinguished power button where you can tell no matter the way you're holding the device that the power button is right there, and you can power it on and off, obviously. Over here you've got your micro SIM card slot behind a flap on this side, micro SD card slot, a place for a dock, camera on the back, NFC. You got your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack up here, but you can see it's purple all the way around on this particular unit. Really a nice looking device. Purple's not necessarily my color that I would carry in personal day-to-day use, but I've really enjoyed working with this for a couple of days. Let me wait for the camera to zoom or focus in there, and T-Mobile logo on the back. It's going to be available in a couple of different colors when it launches. And let's go ahead and load up the speed test here and take a look at how it performs. T-Mobile 4G LTE in the Dallas metro area has been reasonably fast all around. And I've seen speeds as high as 20 megabits per second, which is what we're seeing right here. 23 megabits per second, just a little bit faster than that actually. And then on the upload, you're seeing speeds about 3 to 4. So a little bit slower on the upload than it is on the download, but really an impressive 23.04 megabits per second in speed test. Now, so 23 megabits per second, incredibly fast for T-Mobile's 4G LTE all around, although I'd like to see a little bit of a faster upload speed here. Now, let's talk pricing. This thing is available in T-Mobile stores for $99 down with 24 equal monthly payments of $20 with 0% APR as part of T-Mobile's finance your own device kind of scheme that they're doing right now. If you buy it in the Sony store, it's $0 down and $25 a month for 24 months with qualifying credit on their service card, or you can buy it for $579 up front. So you've got a couple of different options depending on what store you walk into. If you buy it at T-Mobile, starting July 17th when it's available, you can get a cool little speaker accessory as well for free. Sony wireless Bluetooth speaker gift with purchase, which is a nice little touch. So all in all, fast device, but again, you're not really seeing a huge difference here from the Xperia Z that we took a look at. I'll load up phonedog.com just so you can see how the internet browser works and how 4G LTE on T-Mobile works. Really nice to see this coming to a carrier. Phonedog.com loading up right now, and we'll have a look here, and you can see our website loading in full force, and the mobile version at that, which we're really particularly proud of. Phonedog.com, portrait to landscape transitions as you would expect is nice and fast. You've got your buttons down here at the bottom, back, home, and then recent applications, all on screen buttons. And this was one of my favorite features from when I reviewed this device a couple of months back. You've got calendar or calculator, for example, and it's multitasking style. They're called quick apps, and I'll come down here, I can add some new ones, or small apps rather. Installed small apps, let's see what else we've got. Browser as well. I can load in browser, for example, and I've got a smaller browser here where I can say, you know what, let's go to CNN.com, check the news there. We'll have that load up over there in the corner, but you know what, I need to do some calculations too. So I'll load up my calculator. I can do 2 times 2 equals 4. Wow, surprising that I didn't know that. I'm just kidding, I absolutely knew that. But you got your website stuff loaded up right here. Now it's important to note you can move this around as you see fit, but like I said, you're restricted to 1 per time. So for example, if I have to use the timer or I have to use the calculator, it's going to kill off the browser or whatever I'm running at that particular point. But these are really nice, and it's kind of Sony's answer to, I'll flip this around here as we load up camera, kind of Sony's answer to Samsung's multitasking options that we've seen on some of their recent devices. Now, happen to be a big fan of this as well. Superior Auto is what the camera comes in out of the box. It's what it's programmed to. You've got a couple of different options here. Burst, picture effect, sweep panorama, a bunch of different choices on how you utilize the 13.1 megapixel camera, but Superior Auto is definitely a good one. And you got your resolution over here as well where I can change this. It's 12 megapixels. I can move the flash around, quick launch, all that good stuff, auto upload, shutter sounds, data storage, and more. But all in all, I've been really impressed with the picture quality here. I'm going to bring over the HTC One Google Play Edition, and you can see here that it does it in a very nice real-time look and feel. Zoom, boom, zoom, boom. And then there we go, right there. So HTC looking good. Clean, a beautiful image all around, and granted there's a lot of light shining on this right now, but really a clean image here. Impressed all around with the picture quality, and you can start a video, jump into the pool within certain limits, and take video underwater, which is a nice little touch as well. So all in all, for the price point, a nice addition to the T-Mobile lineup. Keep it locked on phonedog.com for more. I'm on Twitter at phonedog_Aaron. I'm on Facebook as well at facebook.com/HiAaronBaker. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on this with this device. Is it worth it over the Galaxy S4, the HTC One, or some of the other devices available on T-Mobile? Let me know on Twitter or on Facebook. Thanks for watching. More to come on the T-Mobile flavor of the Sony Xperia Z. I'll see you next time.